So we're big Elmore Leonard fans around this house, and a lot of people know you from Justified as Art
Yeah.
Mullen, and your career spans a lot of decades with incredible roles that everybody knows you from as well. My thought is I bet you get a lot of recognition as you're walking down the street or in the gas station. I bet people are like, I know you from somewhere.
Well, it's funny. I was telling this story the other day. In other parts of the country, people think I look vaguely familiar. In Kentucky, people go, "That's Art Mullen. Hey, you're Art Mullen, aren't you?" I mean, they know who I am in Kentucky, so you can't get away with
Yeah, I
anything.
bet that is true. So what would you say was your big break in Hollywood where you thought, yeah, I'm going to make a career out of this. This is going to be what my life is about.
Well, I really set out to become an actor as soon as I mean, really, when I left high school, that's what I wanted to do. I did a lot of plays in college. I went to the University of North Carolina. I moved to New York after that. Tried to get an agent. Tried to get seen. Did a lot of plays. Never really got anything going film wise. And got married. And when my wife and I got pregnant, we decided we can't stay here in New York City. It's too crazy. So we moved back down to North Carolina. And I started doing small roles in films that came through North Carolina. I did a little role in Days of Thunder, and I did a little role in The Prince of Tides. And then that led to me auditioning for Fried Green Tomatoes, which I auditioned for a very small role. And the director, I guess, thought I looked mean and stupid. And so he said, I want to read Nick for the bad guy. And I wound up getting that part. I played Frank Bennett in Fried Green Tomatoes. And that movie did so well that, I was able to call up an agent in California, sight unseen. She didn't know me. And I said, well, go see this movie and see if you think you can represent me. And she went and saw it and called me back and said, yeah, come on out. So Fried Green Tomatoes was really the thing that put me on the map. But of course, there was a lot of build up to that one big break. And then even after Fried Green Tomatoes, I mean, every time you get a role in a film in Hollywood, it's basically another big break. So I've had a series of big breaks. I've been very, very fortunate.
Well, I'm not sure. There's a lot of talent involved there, and I'm not sure if you can call it fortunate. But even with a face like yours and a mustache like yours that I've seen on the cover of your new book, that's it still takes somebody, the right person seeing you and the right person believing that you're one of these characters.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is, really, I tell people it's really perseverance. It's just that I kept showing up. I mean, a lot of my friends just, they got discouraged and they gave it up, and I was just sort of, I know I can do this, and when I got the role in Fried Green Tomatoes, the director, John Afnet, when he finally cast me, he said, are you ready to do a role like this? And I said, I've been ready for this for a long time. It was like the 10 years of nothing that I wasn't ready for.
Right. Yeah. Acting is a funny thing. And you're making somebody believe a character, and it kind of takes you believing it. And I guess that's true from a career perspective too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that my approach to it has always been, I'm not really a method actor. I'm more of just like an imaginary circumstances actor. I try to put myself in the character's position and in his mindset and give myself his background. And then I just try to act like I would act in that situation, me. So I try to just sort of put myself into these people's shoes. And I think that's that's kind of a key to film acting, because in film you can't really lie to the camera. You can't pretend too much because the camera's too close and it sees too much of you. So you kind of have to really believe who you are when you're doing a film.
Right. So you kind of take a more of a leading man kind of approach to it, because that's what who Tom Cruise or somebody like that. That's what he does. I saw
Yeah.
him in the Reacher, and I'd read all the Reacher books up to that point, the Jack Reacher series,
Mhm.
and when he played it, he just played that from a what would Tom Cruise do in this situation thing.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is a little bit smaller than Reacher. I mean, in the Reacher,
Just
Reacher's
slightly.
like 6'5" and 250 or something. But yeah,
Right.
it's Tom is a good example. I mean, I guess I sort of think of myself as a leading man. I'm just sort of trapped in a character actor's body, but I approach it. I just approach it like my character. I'm bringing the most important character to the show, even if I only have 5 or 6 lines. This is my responsibility.
Right.
This is what I'm supposed to deliver, and so that's how I try to look at it.
I'm sure that lends some authenticity to whatever part you're playing, because that's how it is. That's what being a human is. It's you're the center of the universe,
Yeah.
from your perspective. So
Yeah, and in my career, since my big break, of course, was Fried Green Tomatoes. Frank Bennett was a real bad guy, so I've played a lot of bad guys, and the thing that's fun about playing bad guys is that you can be really awful, and there aren't really any consequences to it. And the other thing I've learned is that the key to playing bad guys is that they don't think they're bad guys; they think they're doing the right thing. So.
yeah, that's a true story.